all set and ready. Let's give her a nice warm welcome. Amazing. We always want to make sure we give her a positive reinforcement here at the aquarium. So she also will probably get a tasty snack because it is her choice if she wants to come down or not. She has her penthouse suite up on the 3rd floor with a built-in swimming pool. So it is completely up to her if she wants to come down or not. We will offer that cart directly at her enclosure. If she hops on the cart, she knows she's going to come down to see all of you lovely folks. But otherwise, she has the choice to stay up inside her enclosure. Now, coming on down to meet with us is a great way. She is an ambassador for her species, but also it's a form of enrichment for Makana, something that stimulates her both mentally, physically, and keeps her days varied and interesting. And that is seeing all of you. You all wear fun colors, move in different ways, and that will keep her enriched throughout the day. So you might have thought you were here to see Makana, when in fact, she is here to see all of you. Now, she is an ambassador for her species, that species being Laysan albatrosses. Now, when she first came on down, who thought she looked like one giant seagull? I don't blame you, I don't blame you. Looking at the monitor here, you'll see that western gull you can find right off our back decks. Now, as you're looking at this gull here and you're looking at Makana, you'll start to see some differences in coloration. She also has a difference in size. She is much larger than these western gulls. She also has a hooded brow that acts as like a visor to keep the sun out of her eyes, and rocking that smoky eyeshadow. Well, that acts as if athletes wear the grease under their eyes to reduce the glare when she's flying out in the middle of the ocean. Now, she does have that size difference, especially when it comes to her wingspan. Makana has a wingspan of about 5.5 feet. And she's actually on the petite side for Laysan albatrosses, who can get a wingspan about 6.5 feet. Hopefully she'll open her wings for us in just a moment. We'll see. But otherwise, she does have, the Laysan albatrosses will have a 6.5 foot wingspan, which is wider than I am tall. And that is where that other difference comes in from these western gulls. And it goes to their flying style. So western gulls will need to flap to get off the air as well to stay in the air. Whereas Laysan albatrosses usually flap to get off the ground. But once they're in the air, they have the ability to lock their wings into place and act as living hang gliders, able to ride the winds for miles and miles at a time. These birds will even fly for days on end and can sleep while flying. Exactly. They will rarely come back to land at all and will sometimes spend years out in the middle of the ocean before ever coming back to land. But they will come back to land for one important thing, and that, you got it, is to have their young. Now, this will happen on Sand Island, a quiet, serene beach most of the year of the Hawaiian chain. But come every November, it turns into a hustling, bustling albatross dating scene. Now, these albatross can live into their 70s, and they are monogamous, which means they will mate for life. So they want to make sure they find that special someone the first time. So for anybody here that's still looking for their special someone, you can take a page out of the albatross's book because they use the language of dance. These albatross have an elaborate 25-step dance routine to find their special someone. Now, we've seen Makana do a few of those moves, a lot of the beat clacking from her today. She occasionally does the sky move, where she'll point her head up to the sky. My personal favorite is the typewriter. There we go. Now, once they have found their dance partner for life, the next step is to build the nest and have one egg. That couple only have one egg per breeding season, so it's very important that both parents take care of that young, both as during the egg and once they've hatched. One parent will stay at the nest and take care of that chick, while the other goes out to fly over the open ocean hunting for food. Once they, there it is. Thank you. Once they have found that food, they will bring it back to the nest and they will give it to their chick in the most direct way possible, through a process called direct regurgitation. That chick is getting a nice, nutritious, oily soup directly from their parent, which helps them grow all the nutrients they need to grow into large, strong adults. Now that chick will then fly out in the middle of the ocean hunting for their favorite food, squid. If you're curious on what their range looks like, I have this here for you. So they are hatched on the sand island as part of the Hawaiian chain of islands, and for most of the time during that breeding season, they'll stay relatively close to those Hawaiian islands. But once they have become those fully fledged adults, or it's no longer breeding season, their range drastically increases throughout the entire North Pacific, reaching Japan and Alaska. Now it is around that time, once these chicks have hatched, that we met Makana. So who here would like to see her baby photo? Oh, quite a few of us. I don't blame you. And there she is. So Makana was hatched on Sand Island, but researchers quickly found that she had a wing injury in her left wing. She wouldn't have been able to extend it and lock it into place to be able to fly over the open ocean. So they asked us if we would like to take care of her, and we said yes. You saw our baby photo. How could we say no? So Makana has been here with us. She is currently 18 years old. So we got her when she was about 9 months old. She's been here quite a while, and she is a wonderful ambassador for her species. Coming on down whenever she would like to greet all of you lovely people. Now, she did not have that wing injury, though. Makana would have been flying over the open ocean, searching for her favorite food, squid. Using that large hook beak that albatrosses have, they would sit on the surface of the water, do a process called surface seizing, where they can simply lower that beak into the water and pluck that squid directly out of the water column. Now that squid is very nutritious and high in a lot of the vitamins they'll need, but unfortunately is competing for that space with plastics that are now floating out in the middle of the ocean. Not only does that look and taste similar to these birds, it's becoming more and more prevalent. Why is it becoming more and more prevalent? Well, plastic used to be advertised to us as something to make life easier, something you can simply use once and throw away. But we're quickly finding there is no way for these plastics. In fact, over 90% of the plastic ever produced today, or on Earth, is still here today. The Earth is unable to digest these plastics, and neither are birds like Makana. These albatrosses, while they're hunting for squid out in the middle of the ocean, they are finding more and more of that plastic waste. It smells and tastes similar to squid for them, so they're eating it themselves, but they're also bringing it back for their chicks. Through that process of direct regurgitation, they are passing along that plastic pollution to their chicks, meaning they're missing out on those vital nutrients they need to grow into large, strong adults. Now I know that sounds very daunting, and some of you might have tuned me out already. But that's okay, because here at the aquarium, we want to make sure that you will understand that you also have a part in this to play. And just by making simple choices like reusable water bottles, reusable bags, every single step helps. And we can make changes out in the world for birds like Makana and other seabirds. Even in our cafe and our gift store, you'll notice that we are 100% plastic free. And the aquarium has helped pass legislation to remove plastic bags from grocery stores and straws from restaurants for more sustainable options. So if you're ever wondering on how you can reduce your own plastic usage, feel free to talk to myself or Sarah right over here. If you have any questions about Makana, you can ask myself, Sarah, or her two lovely aviculturists. But I'm now going to have us do something a bit cooler. We're going to get a bit closer to Makana here. We do still want to keep her personal space, so about 3 feet, so about where I am. Imagine there's this invisible line here to where Sarah is. Feel free to come on closer, get some pictures with her. But if we are moving along, thank you so much for joining us today, folks. At the